If that water wet, it's got gators in it.
Oh, yeah? Well, me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes YouTube.
Cursed be the ground for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
All right, good people. And here, punching the clock on a Tuesday. Another requested video. It's probably made the rounds. I've seen Mr. Z do it. Dr. Thunder did it. Media Man did portions of it. So, hey, when in doubt, when in Rome, do what the Romans do, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to do today, punching the clock. A little late. I was actually looking at some rifle videos. I mean, evidently Charlie Kirk is a hot topic, and everybody's trying to weigh in on whether Charlie Kirk was hit by an amateur or a professional. So, and everybody's guessing. So, anyhow, so I'm sorry I'm late, but we are here. Okay. Instant Media batting first. That's different. Gundam batting second. Kevin batting third. Tunnel Dirty Foot Jose having a steak today. Batting cleanup. Pirate broadcaster. Because, yeah, that was, man, real life I had to do a video on how women can know when a man actually loves her. Okay, so, and as always, man, if you're red pill, man, you're always gonna be going against the grain. Pirate broadcaster, what's going on? Quentin, what's happening? Victor Creed, Shannon Moore, Toya, gonna need a lot of apples for this one. Yep. Yeah, I need sustenance. Okay. Trail, what's going on? You losing? What's happening? Said ever since you and Dr. T bullish in videos, I can't stop watching black women body cam videos. It's a lot of crazy ones out there. It's that's why I played Dr. Curry yesterday about the hidden IPV victimization of black men, right? Okay. Because if you look at the stats, it's very obvious, but if you look at the rhetoric that's still out there, okay, you would think that black men are the most brutal mates on the planet, and it's far from the truth. In fact, it's probably the exact opposite. Adric, what's going on? Prince, what's going on? To the Bitcoin, okay, Bitcoin in a slow rise at 117, gold tipping. Well, yeah. The Middle East, man, is the dollar is having issues, man. Run your values against the dollar, okay? Run your value against the dollar and the euro. See, Lavaris, what's going on? My Waffle House King, what's happening? Leo, Luther, what's going on? B Quaid, what's going on? Mike L, what's going on? I'm listening. Kelvin, what's going on? Shannon Green, what's happening? Hard Bottom Shoes, what's up? DJ Scan, Charles, Prepare for my arrival. What's going on? Butero. What's happening? Encrypted Wolf. Babu. Nanga. What's going on? And nobody wants arrested. Okay, I heard that. TB. What's happening? Hurricane Greg. Supreme Pivot. Joe's. B-Dubs flying solo meetings. They're chicken hawks. They probably are. Terrell. What's happening? Palm Beach Mike. What's happening? Forever Blessed. What's going on? Dr. D. Barry Hamilton. Don Calypso. This ought to be interesting. I think so. I mean, it's probably nothing you haven't heard before. Fedro in the A-Town, Gynocracy Central. Dr. Thunder, what's up? Dr. D, what's going on? Sir Him, what's happening? 100 Octane. What's up, Dr. D? Dr. Dunbar, what's happening? Dr. Goodbar? Yeah, 100 Octanes are not the easiest one to get along with unless you got that kind of money, okay? Mr. J. Matt, what's going on? Barry Hamilton, what's going on? Paul, what's happening? Landon, what's going on? AHG, Terry Golds, MGTOW Universe, what's going on? Terry Golds, Mark Bryant, DeAndre, what's up? Chance, Inspired Truth. Why are people riding the Kirk wave? Is because that is the trending topic in the country right now. Chance, what's going on? Willie R, what's going on? Oliver Ware, what's happening? Forever Blessed, Caveman Talk. Landon, what's going on? Jesse Griffin, Eric Archer, what's happening? What's up, Eric? Ain't seen you in a minute. Swift Battle, Brother John, and Horowitz, bringing up the rear. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Obviously, we're not going to play the full video because it's about an hour. No, it's not really. About 46 minutes, okay? And let's go ahead and speed it up just a tad, okay? Even though they do talk. So she does talk fast, so I might have to slow it down because the MBK does talk fast, okay? This is from, share my screen. This is from XO Nicole, okay? Pregnant pause. It talked about solo motherhood and dating, okay? With MDK Williams, and you know how she is, okay? You know how she is. She is a gynocrat in the making, a gynocrat and a divester at the same time. Ryan Will, Captain Obvious, what's happening? All right, let's go ahead and get it started, man. Let's get this over with, okay?
Of my very real-time motherhood journey, where, like, you know how it is when you're meeting a new mom and you're like, what do we have in common?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure.
We have quite a bit in common.
We do.
We are sorors.
Hey,
Okay. So I love that. And we actually,
AKAs, okay, ski-wee, okay.
I remember when we first chatted and we met when I interviewed you and wrote a profile on you for Scary Mommy.
Yes, which was amazing. Such amazing writing.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah,
Thank
it's
you
great.
so much. Gosh, we could have been on, I could have talked to you for hours.
I think we did talk.
We talked for a
hours,
long time.
actually.
We talked for a long time. And you had paraphernalia on that day. So I was like,
I did. And I
yes.
didn't even know you were a sword
Yes,
at that point. It was
so it was
kismet.
like an immediate
Yes,
connection.
yes.
We also are, we work in media. You
Sure.
are a television host.
Mhm.
You are an author.
Mhm.
You are also an attorney. So you understand, first of all, so many different walks of life, but certainly the media landscape.
Yeah, I do. So it's interesting. I was a comms major in college,
Mhm.
and sometimes, shout out to all the comms majors.
Yes.
We tend to get a bad rap. Like,
Right,
what are you
'cause
going
it's
to
like, what
do
are you
with
gonna
that?
do? Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
Hello, somebody. Everything.
Come on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So I really credit both my comms major and my Black Studies major.
Mhm.
With kind of giving me the tools to
Yes.
synthesize, as I'm humbled to hear your introduction. It allows me to navigate those pillars
Yes.
of the law,
That's right.
but also mass media, television,
Right.
audio, podcast.
Right.
I actually started my broadcast career in talk radio, which a lot of people don't know.
Yes.
And then eventually,
MDK she got the hair, she got the looks, but MDK is mediocre, okay? She got the good, she got married already. I don't think MDK got the good.
becoming a published author 2 times over. So
First
yeah.
of all, hats off to you for all of that. But
Thank you.
also, oddly enough, same, right? I was a
Mhm.
journalism major, and African Studies double major. So
Boom.
that is
We
did
did
that.
that.
African Studies double major. Okay, all these soft skills. Okay.
Like that's
Yeah.
right.
People say, what are you going to do with the Black Studies major? Everything.
Everything,
Everything.
particularly for what not only what we do, but what we cover,
And
right?
the
What we
spaces
talk
in which
about.
we do it.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
100%. The other thing we have in common is we are girl moms.
Yes, we are.
So,
you 2 times over,
Two
child.
times over, girl. Send up a prayer for me.
Yes, I love it.
But yes, just I think there is something really special about having a little girl.
Mhm.
Your little girl Liberty is almost a year
She's
old.
almost a year in the game.
That is, how does it feel being almost a year in the game?
I think I'm going to let her stay.
I love that, right? It's like you can stay.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
stay.
Your performance period's up. The performance review. I think you're gonna pass.
Right. I think we'll be okay.
No, I think I'm the one that she's probably like, you
She's
get
like,
to stay.
right? She's like, how you doing? How are you
You
doing?
go check me.
Right.
So no, it's been a joyous year. She's literally just brought more joy, Danielle, to my life.
Mm.
It has not been without surprise and
Yeah,
challenge,
yes,
which I'm
of
sure we'll get
course, of
into.
course.
But I'm here to say, the good news is it was a beautiful year. It was a
Mm.
year of profound joy, and I just smiled more this year. What's
Yep.
this? As we record this, there's an Instagram social media trend. You look happier.
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes.
I look
that's
happier. I
right.
had this sweet little girl named Liberty.
I love
Ah,
that.
yeah. So you found out what you were missing, your first 40 years, okay? Because you didn't want to be a mom.
Ads. Like I said, you and I have had this conversation, but for folks who don't know,
Sure.
you chose to have your daughter Liberty by yourself via IVF with donor sperm.
Yes, I did.
And we will include, like I said, we'll include the Scary Mommy show, the Scary Mommy story in the show notes.
Yes.
And so folks can read that. But I do want to talk a little bit about your story and your decision to become a mother. And I want to talk a little bit about titles, but we'll get into that. But let's start with your story. Let's start with your decision to have Liberty on your own.
I think decision is the
Yes.
right place to start,
Yes.
right? Because so much of this, and I say this with privilege,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to state as many times as possible throughout
Yes.
this conversation,
Yes.
Danielle, where I'm standing in points of privilege. I
Right.
think it's very important.
Yeah.
I think all of this becomes kind of disingenuous and kind of like non-relatable when we
Mhm.
gloss over those parts.
That's right.
Right. So I was able to make a decision.
Right.
And I say that
Yes.
with great intensity and intentionality in the year 2025,
Yes.
right? Where
Yes.
all too many women are not able to make decisions
Mm.
about when and how and if they become mothers.
Exactly. Yeah, in other words, you had the money to do it, okay? You got money to do this. And you that's how come you have to tell women, if you ain't got the money to do this kind of stuff, okay, don't plan on it.
mothers.
Right.
So I was able to make a decision that said I never really was somebody who aspired to motherhood. I think I want to start with that
Uh-huh.
premise. I think what's the word? Kind of assumed I would be a wife at some point, and I was.
Right.
I was briefly married, literally a year and some change in my late 20s. Amicable divorce, nothing to see here, ladies. We'll move on. Wish that man well. And then decided I really I was a pretty bad wife in the sense that
Yeah, exactly. Say it again, black girl. You're a pretty bad wife.
nothing salacious. Nothing. I just was so focused
Mhm.
on my dreams,
Mhm.
my ambitions,
Mhm.
my aspirations,
Right.
and frankly, kind of my agenda, and I was immature enough and inexperienced enough to believe that loving me and being even, I guess, married to me even meant going along with that agenda.
Yes.
It meant if you love me enough, you're gonna,
Yes.
you're gonna,
And that's the arrogant part, okay? If you love me enough, you'll follow me, okay? But things you want him to lead, you want him to actually lead you and help you in your endeavor.
kind of go my way, or more or less, here is the highway.
Mm.
And I say that in retrospect, having grown and learned so much
Right.
about
Yes.
how horribly erroneous that
That's why she said. That's why she's a bad. Exactly. All I hear is me, me, me. That's how come. She said she's a bad wife. She's not a wife. Okay. This lady is wicked. How is she gonna explain that to the child her father is? She's not. Okay. Women are actually, kids are very malleable and very adaptable. Okay. So it's not going to be as big a deal as you think it is.
that method is and was. So when I came out of that divorce, I had a real clear intention, and this is what I always say to young ladies or people, period, that are
Sure.
kind of, is married to me. I say, I want you to think about, if you were to go start a business tomorrow, would you want to pursue your business in a joint venture
Right.
format?
Right.
Were you willingly and
Yeah,
enthusiastic?
basically her being the man. Yeah, she's the boss chick. Okay, she's the boss chick. And she's the boss chick that doesn't pay. Let's put it that way.
basically invite collaboration.
Yes.
Where from the logo
Yeah.
to the tagline
Right,
to
right.
the cadence of,
Right.
you know, when you distribute and how you distribute your
Mm,
product, and we're doing this together, and I like
Right.
yellow and you like red,
Yeah.
and what do we think? If you like that functioning,
Mhm.
I think you could be maybe a good candidate for marriage.
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
dead serious. What
Yeah.
you said?
That's,
I'm dead ass
that's
serious.
real.
And
That's
or,
Yeah,
real.
no,
or
she didn't make it in 2 years in marriage. It's because she said, like she said, she wasn't a good wife. She's not a wife. Okay, she admits that.
This.
there's something called solo proprietorship,
Right.
where the buck stops with you,
Mhm.
but also the responsibility
Yes.
stops with you.
Yes.
The surplus, the debts, the
Yes,
liabilities,
yes.
and the
That's
assets.
all on you.
It's all on you.
Right.
And it was so clear to me, especially coming out of my divorce, that I am a sole proprietor for life.
You
Yes.
said,
See?
you
Did we talk
said-
about this?
You
This scary
said this
Bobby?
to me. You were
Yeah.
like, I don't like group projects.
I don't like group projects. I don't like business partners. I don't. It's not for my functioning. So my preferred way to navigate the world
Mhm.
is in a solo capacity.
Mhm.
So getting to your question, that was the driver.
Yeah. What's your name? Oprah's that way. Shonda Rhimes is that way. Okay. There's a bunch of women that are that way, but at least they admit that marriage is not for them. At least they're coming out and they're telling young women, okay, they're old enough and wise enough to know that most women cannot do what I do. Okay, so don't use me as an example. At least she's wise enough, or she's grown wise enough to know. Okay, I think after she turned 40, she realized, oh shit, okay, my way of doing things is not the best way for most women. Okay.
From my decision
Yes.
so by the time, a whole bunch of stuff happened, I had an engagement, I ended that during the
Mhm.
pandemic. We all went through a global pandemic.
Right.
Can we name
Right.
that?
That.
And for us, because we're age peers as well, you come out more or less on the other side of that pandemic, and I'm 38, 39,
Yes.
quickly approaching 40.
Yes.
And I don't say 40 as a doomsday
Right.
to anyone listening, but I
Right.
do say it with kind of some pragmatism
Yes.
around biological impact of fertility.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
Absolutely.
and most women lie about that. Okay, most women are lying. I just had that argument about that. I just believe it or not, Sarah Grace said, "BGS, who is the father on the New York streets?" I heard it's that boy Daft Duck. He's the father. Crazy pedestrians hit the like button. He could be. I don't know. I don't know. She will never tell. Okay. I just had this argument with May, the alchemist, maybe 3 weeks ago about this shit, right? About um first kid and waiting, in the biological clock, and she jumped up and down, said that wasn't right, blah blah blah, and then she had her child in her late 30s, okay, their late 30s, and so I said, okay, so what did your OBGYN say? She said it would cost me like $50,000 to have this kid, okay. In other words, it took extraordinary measures for it to actually conceive one child. So basically, after that she quieted down because okay, you proved the rule. You proved the rule, okay? And that's the whole thing. What the women don't see because they want to be men. Men for the most part do not have a biological clock. For the most part, okay. You have 80-year-old men getting their younger women pregnant. As long as that woman is fertile enough, okay, 80-year-old man can get that woman pregnant. Okay, that's why these May December marriages only work basically one way. Okay, it doesn't work the opposite way because that woman's no longer fertile. So in a standard marriage, in a standard relationship, it doesn't work the other way. Is because that woman's fertility window is closed. Okay, she cannot open it back up just because she has a younger man. Whereas a man's fertility window is only limited by the female. You're going through menopause with the mind of a man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, what happens, especially when a woman gets 40, and I've demonstrated this. I might do it again. Okay, is a woman's estrogen and her progesterone sink to a level where her testosterone actually takes over. That's how come a 40-year-old woman gets more horny when she's like in her late 30s, early 40s, right? She's more horny. It's because she's been driven by testosterone. Progesterone level drops like crazy with most of these women before menopause. Oh, well, in their 30s, okay? Really, progesterone actually drops before estrogen. I'm 64, turned 65, not married, no children, no desire to marry. any of these modern day females. Well, you have women all over the planet. Okay, and women all over the planet. So didn't Shonda Rhimes talk about being a serial dater in that street life? Yeah. Well, she says that she likes boyfriends. She says she doesn't want a man in her house, but she claims it, right? I mean, she has the money to back it up.
Physicians will address this better than I can. But I'd already been told, and also a point of privilege. I had a soror
Yes.
personally tell me her story of egg freezing when she
Right.
was in her early 30s.
Right.
We were colleagues at the time. We were chapter sorors. I had, again, no intention to be a mother,
Right.
but almost like a little bit of a light flex. I had the disposable income. I'm doing well. I'm
Yep.
in New York City.
Sure.
All the cool girls are doing it.
Yes.
Literally, this was like the height of egg freezing parties
Yep.
and all that shit.
Yep.
So why not? I literally
Right.
did it as a why not.
Yeah.
At 34, I froze eggs. I ended up freezing 10 that were viable. We'll come back to that.
Yep.
Coming out of the pandemic,
Yeah.
I'm turning 39, and a few things also happened in that pandemic. In addition to deciding what wasn't for me romantically, I realized that I didn't need, this is my story, a man to save me in some of the ways that I think I still had some fantasy around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you didn't need it. Okay. And you're rare. How to say women cannot beat the wall in Chinese? Called Shang Yu. Shang Yu. Leftover. Okay. I thought AKs got married. Normally they do. Normally they do. But the thing is, these are modern women, right? Her and Kendra Drea's sisters separated at birth. There's a lot more of them like that than you would actually think. Okay. In other words, she was dumped. Wasn't she? What wasn't for me romantically? Yep.
being saved. Okay, if we can talk very plainly.
That's yes.
And I think I thought that I needed a man to like position me around power, around wealth, around safety, and around security.
Was the feeling that being partnered, that being in a relationship with a man would help you attain those things, secure those things, maintain those things, all of that?
Certainly sustained.
Okay.
Right. So like I've always had confidence,
Sure.
right, in my ability. You know, I've been practicing law since I was 23 years old. I'm a very educated woman, hardworking. So I never doubted my abilities as much as I had questions around the likelihood of a Black woman named Eboni from the South being able to sustain financially and frankly emotionally in all the ways the lifestyle.
Because she was a pageant queen. She started at a higher level in the first place. Okay. So it's further to come down. Okay. Like Michael Jordan can be most amateurs, okay, in basketball, okay, because he started from a higher level, but he's not what he was. And she's not what she was.
In life I wanted for myself long term. So I never doubted whether I could get there.
Right.
I think my insecurity was could I stay there?
Ooh.
And so that's when I think that again I had some fantasy around some mythical man, some man in my head being the safety net, being an insurance policy, if you will, around making sure it sustains.
Right.
And then I'm big on the feelings test these days, Danielle. I'm big on if it doesn't feel good, like
Right.
I'm so much better on not caring what it looks like. I
Yes.
only care what it feels like.
Oh, I love that.
Right. And
That's
that's really
liberating.
it's very liberating. And that
Yes.
is the only reason I was able to get to a decision around being a solo mom by choice. Because we know what that looks like. And I know we're going to
Right.
get into that and what
Yes.
society
Yes.
insists that
Yes.
it kind of looks like.
Exactly.
Right. But I don't give a shit about that anymore, thank God. I only care about what it feels like. And then I started to really
Yeah,
feel
because you're in your mid 40s, of course.
like I'm the man that I've been trying to wait to save me.
I say that again. I'm the man that I've been trying to save. I became the man the man of my dreams. I became the man of my dreams. She just said it, right? I'm the man that I wanted to save me. I became that.
Really was that for me.
Yeah.
And that did so much for me, Danielle.
I would say she should have do a disclaimer. Broke chicks don't try this at home. I know. I feel. I was just listening to this. I don't know why they have these things, but this um I had a debate about this thing, this talk with African American women on one side and African raised women on the other, right? And they all said the same thing. I feel. Okay. When you can notice it's female language when they say I feel. Okay. Okay. Men normally say I think. Okay. Even though now they're teaching men to say I feel. But men normally say I think. Okay. Or I do. Women say I feel. very common. I said, wait, she is an AKA. I'm surprised her sister didn't tell her to secure the rich husband and bag. Must be her. She must have passed up a bag a couple times. Oh, yeah, she knows she did. Thing is, you can tell him, Miss Delta, she's mean. Okay. She's not gonna tell you that, but she's hard to get along with, and she knows it. She's mean. You can hear in her tone of voice, right? Okay, takes a special kind of guy. It would take a guy that's gonna be baited to her to get along with her, and she tried that with her first husband, and she realized she didn't like him. Okay, but she's mean. Okay, you can tell. You can tell in her tone of voice. She's strict and she's mean. I say good luck to her daughter. Okay, Ebony sound like she's trying to do a straight reach back on black men. I don't think so. I think she's come to the grips that she's never going to get married and doesn't want to get married because she's not marriage material. I think she's come to that. These women are definitely afraid to raise a boy because she can only raise up a eunuch, weakling male. Yet it has been foretold that the modern woman would meet her demise at the hands of the same male eunuch in the Bible. Yep.
It did so much for liberating.
A woman that is intentional about raising a man, okay, and raising a man to be a man, she will enlist other men to help her. She can do it, but she has to be intentional about it. Okay, a single mother that wants to raise a powerful man can do it, but she has to be intentional about it. Okay, she has to want to do it, and most women don't want to do it.
Me, but it also gave me a new way to pursue love, which I know we'll also get into in a minute.
One of the things to me that was so refreshing is that Liberty has liberated her mother, right?
She reversed Uno and me.
In so many ways,
She did.
right? In so many ways. One of those ways being in your search for partnership, right? In your search for a partner. Now you've talked quite a bit about dating, and you've been very honest about your standards, for better, for however folks respond to that child.
Sure.
But one thing that I think I personally found so refreshing and interesting is that you are now at a place in your life where you can date.
She admits she's a man in a lady's body. She actually does. Yeah. She admits that.
With a level of freedom that isn't restricted by a biological clock in the back of your head, or even looking for a partner who looking for a partner through the lens of this person.
She can't. Okay, the reason she can't get a simp to save her is because she's too mean. Okay, and I think she married one, but thing is that she's so mean she didn't like him. Okay, she wants the alpha male, but thing is she can't get along with alpha male, and she knows that because she's a man. Hold on, Emily. Her daughter's name is Liberty. Yeah, saved her from herself, I guess. These same one talk about generational wealth, but can't find or keep a man. Because they're not wise. Every woman is not meant to have a man. Okay. If you can't get along with a man, you have the personality. Don't get married. Don't make that man sad. Wow, black women love to be lied to. They eat it up like ice cream. They do. They really do. What's the real prediction for her test tube baby daughter's development? It's kind of hard. The thing is, she has enough money to actually bring in other people to help her out raise that kid. So she could be perfectly normal. I don't know. Depends on the daughter's personality. She was raised by a single mother, almost the exact same way. Yep. She just replicated what her mother did.
And being a father, right?
Absolutely.
And so when you're not looking at this person's qualities as, when it's not so significant that
Yeah, because Ebony K. Williams didn't know who her father was till she was in her 30s.
Who are you? Who can you be as a parent?
That's right.
It opens up a whole new world. So talk to me a little bit about what has it been like now to date as a single mom by choice?
It has been so much more fun, and it has been so much more I just think feasible is the right word I want to use. Because like you said, I want to acknowledge that, my romantic life, which some of has been public because I've chosen to share, has, had challenges like anybody else's.
Right.
Part of my challenge was, and I'm so unapologetic about it, and remain so, is
appreciate. Hey, shout out to my MGTOW monks, okay, from Hammer Hands, okay. Shout out to my MGTOW monks. People think that I don't like. People think I don't get along with my MGTOW monks. They don't come over here often. It's because this is a black male channel and they respect that. But thing is, I still go along with my MGTOW monks. Hammer was one of those people. Okay, I like my MGTOW monks. Okay, we have the same kind of camaraderie. Okay, and the same kind of respect for each other. I have an honest question. Why do you anyone care about these women? Okay, it's not about okay. Let's put it this way. I'm not. If I wanted to talk to women, I would talk to women. Okay. This is not about talking to women or caring about these women. Okay. This is about what you have to encounter and how these women think. Because you're going to run across them, whether they're going to be your mama, whether it's going to be your auntie, it could be your boss, it could be your coworker, it could be a whole bunch of people. Okay. If you're in the black community and you're around black people, you're going to run into these kind of women. Okay. It's about teaching you. It's not about caring about them. Fish tax taco with roja salsa. Okay. If you don't care about them and this is not your kind of topic, okay, you know what, CA, you know, when the thing is, when I put up a very good, I think thumbnail and description about what the show's going to be about. Okay. You don't have to click on it. Okay. I'm educating men because this shit will come up. Okay, it's gonna come up. What breaks this mean streak with the back of a drop of yesterday's vid? It's generally an uphill battle. Imagine her attitude, lawyer job, and UBM at home. The thing is, if you run across a woman like this, and she doesn't have to be black. Okay, it can be a white female with that's educated and mean and male like, okay? Run.
I am somebody who is not a fan of mediocrity in any capacity of my life.
I know that's right. Same.
Yeah, I'm just not, and you're not gonna make me feel a way about
That's
it.
right.
Bloop.
Yeah.
You're just not, because excellence and operating at a
Oh, I know all about it. Well, if you know all about them, boss, then this should be a walk in the park to you, okay? Yeah, run. I hear a lot of guys saying this. Sometimes a lot of guys saying this is the kind of woman that you want. Okay, if you're gonna get this kind of woman, you got to be ready. Okay.
constantly living in my ambition
Yes.
has served me
Right.
quite well.
Right. Amen.
Okay, so and that's how I hold myself to a standard.
Mhm.
So I am only going to look for any, and this is, I don't have no mediocre ass friends.
Mm. Right.
See?
I don't.
Right.
You know, so this
Same,
because I
same.
really just believe in the power of proximity.
Absolutely.
In other words, this is a high level 92. Okay, that's why I tell you about high level 92s. Okay. Okay. The thing is, she's honest about it. Okay. A lot of your 92s at this level are not gonna be honest. Okay. They're just gonna nag you to death. But she's honest about it. Got to be careful. Okay.
Wait,
I
and there's no
really
space for it.
do.
There's no space for it in my life. There's none.
Does not compute.
Yep.
So if that's the deal for my platonic relationships, it's absolutely going to be the requirement, the standard, whatever, for my romantic relationships.
Correct.
And then to your point, Danielle, adding a fatherhood piece, right? So this must now also be a man
Mhm.
who I feel likely to be so aligned
Mhm.
around the following:
Mhm.
academic pursuits,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
healthcare and medical,
See?
Yes.
emotional.
Yes.
See?
Let's say, because you never know the child God will give you.
Yeah.
Could have special needs.
Right. Right.
Could
right.
have gender curiosity.
Sure.
Could have sexual orientation
Sure.
curiosities.
Sure.
Whatever.
Right.
Let's just start with the logistics. I work in a bi-coastal fashion.
Right.
I have a syndicated daytime judge show, Equal Justice, with Judge Eboni K. Williams. Check your local listings. Tapes in Los Angeles,
Yep.
but I live and reside in New York City.
Mhm.
If I have a project where I
Right.
need to be here for a certain
Right.
period of time, I don't
Right.
want to be like the good sis Halle Berry
Yeah.
and be in custody court
Right.
fighting. I don't want to be like the good sis Jodie Turner Smith
Right.
fighting.
Right.
These are the,
Sure.
and I should name my bias too. I practiced family law for several
Mhm.
years early in my legal career.
Yes.
So I can speak with authority
Right. You
on
saw.
how deeply, horribly contested
Mm.
those issues can be
Right.
and those challenges can be. And that's
Mm.
not hypothetical to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I can't afford to be hypothetical
That's
about
right.
it. These are my circumstances and these are likely my realities.
Right.
And I'm gonna just go there and make some folks mad. Because I am a high earner,
Mhm.
it's very likely and possible that under certain circumstances with a father and a co-parent, I would end up paying child support for my own child.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and in other words, she's a man, right? She's talking like a man.
Again, as Halle Berry is showing us, as Mary J. Blige has shown us,
Right.
as Sherry Shepherd
Yes.
has
Yes.
shown us.
Yes.
It's a real thing.
Yes. Yes.
And you don't have to even be famous to do it.
to do it.
Women
That's
are doing
right.
it every day these days
Right.
because
No, they're not.
statistically,
They're
as
not.
you've named, Black women
They're not doing it every day. Okay, it's still very rare for Black women to actually be paying child support, or any woman to be paying child support. That's not true.
especially
That's what I was gonna say.
are earning above our male peers.
Ab-
This is that same lie, which is not true. Okay, our male peers, not true.
Absolutely.
Black women are owning homes
Right.
at higher rates.
That is true. Media Man just went over that. Black single women are owning homes at a higher rate. It's because Black men only need houses when they have a family. Okay, Ebony is doing the reach back. Uh, LA straight ball breakers. She's she's looking for a renter stepdaddy right now. Women like them are going to have an apocalyptically hard time reconciling with the men of their ilk that checks off all the boxes, walking smooth past them for an airport or less ambitious women. Yeah, yep. Ebony equals super independent and unmarriageable. She's a disagreeable woman. Okay, that's like she's not married. Okay, and she shouldn't be. I agree with. She shouldn't be. She should.
Of our male peers.
Right.
And I don't want to have to unalive nobody, Danielle.
Right.
See, she talking. See, and Black women have been like that for a very long time. Okay, if Black women could beat you up and whip your ass, they would. Okay, if Ebony K. Williams thought that she could whip your ass, she would.
I don't want to have to no.
I'm not mad at you. I
It's
get
just-
no, but
that's
you're
just
right.
jokes.
No, but that you're right. Let's be clear.
There ain't no jokes. No, ain't no jokes. She meant that shit.
It's just jokes. The
But
cameras are on.
You're right. I mean, in that, like,
Yeah.
that is a very real thing, possibility that Black women have to face. In
Yes.
that we are out earners. We are,
Yes.
we are the most educated demographic.
No, you're not the most educated demographic. Why do they tell that lie and they're educated? I'm sure she has challenges getting along with men and women. On girls' trips, she's one that everyone else is rolling their eyes at. Yeah, in other words, yeah, they have to keep a good watch on Ebony because she's gonna go off. Okay. She's also indirectly admitting she can't qualify for the maximum earning man whose pay would dwarf her own. That's true. This is who you avoid exactly. Hope she's is saving up for a child psychology. Hopefully not. Hopefully she can learn how to raise this child where the child is actually sane.
Yes.
Country
Yes.
and
Of all
of
the
all,
races and
of-
all the genders.
absolutely.
Yes. Say that.
And so we
But her daughter's probably going to wind up just like her. Okay, her mother's like her. Her mother was a bus driver, but I can guarantee if you actually interviewed her mother is just like her.
are high earners.
Yes.
And that is
And those liabilities, those potential liabilities exist. So
Mhm.
that was a part of my thinking. This
Yeah.
was a part of why this was my
Right.
choice.
Right.
I'm walking out through all the ins and outs.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And so I said, if there's science that allows, and
Mhm.
again, point of privilege.
Yep.
15
Sure.
years ago, we wouldn't even be able to have
Right.
this conversation.
Sure.
So thankful that it's even possible.
Yes.
If there's science that allows for me to potentially bifurcate
Right.
my love life
Mhm.
and my motherhood experience,
Right.
let me avail myself to that. And let me
Mhm.
also name a deficiency.
Mm.
So I know folks been waiting on that. As joyous as my year has been with Baby Liberty,
Okay.
if I had to factor in responsibility around also being someone's good wife
Mm.
and or even being someone's good romantic partner,
Mm.
in addition to maintaining house manager and trying to return to my own identity,
Yes.
I don't know how successful I would have been, Danielle. So really that's a flex for you and women. Just receive this.
Okay.
Just receive.
Yes.
It ain't that hard. Okay, it's really not that hard. Okay, it's really not that hard. Okay, because you got a father, and a father has to spend time with the kid. Okay, and a father has to be responsible for your money maintenance. Okay, and the father also has to listen to your silly ass. See, women always count what they do, but they don't count what you bring. That's why I say male emotional labor has to be a subject. Is because the amount of emotional labor that Black men has to do to keep a Black woman sane is enormous. Okay, is enormous. What exceptional man would step into a situation with a newborn that is after considering her personality when there are better options? Okay, she ain't married yet, is she? Okay. Thank you, just even though Ebony is the exact clone of my soon to be ex wife, I've had no triggering. Okay. You've helped me to see that people can only act out of their program. Yes. Yes, that's what the octanes are all about. Okay, you have to pick a woman for her characteristics. And I was just talking about this. Okay, I was just talking about this because we were on Patreon. I might do it on Patreon. I'm not sure. Okay, uh, because shit gets back. I don't want to get back to my mentor. Okay, we were just talking about this. Okay, about um, some black men, not all, some black men that. That choose their mother over their spouse, okay, is because the mother and spouse cannot get along, and the man sides with the mother, and they thought how negative that was. That men should be able to bifurcate. My thing is that first thing I said that they couldn't disagree with. Okay, if what's important to you is having a wife, not a girlfriend, not a lover, but a wife that's going to give you family harmony, okay? Why would you pick a wife that cannot get along with your family or your mother? Okay? Because they said it's just a thing between the mother and the son, okay? It's also going to affect the kids, okay? Because their children, most kids, like my kids in particular, right? One, I was lucky, okay, that even though me and my ex could not get along that well for reasons, okay? Guess what? She loved my mother. She loved my family. Okay, her mother didn't especially like me, but guess what? They love my family. They love my brothers and sisters, right? So basically, they loved the village. They didn't particularly like me all the time, but they loved the village. So my kids benefited from what? Having a whole village raise them. Okay, not just one person or two people, the whole village raised them. So they had both grandmothers, they had aunts and uncles on both sides, they had this whole village to raise them. Okay. So the thing is, if you want that family or that those kids to be healthy, okay, do not pick a woman that cannot get along with your family. Okay. That is a red flag. Okay. It shouldn't even be discussed. Her attitude is a turnoff. Oh, the thing is, if if a woman like that, if you need a woman that with her attitude because she can drive you and to actually push you to do better in a certain realm, pick her. Okay. But that's what she's there for. She's gonna have nannies and tutors and she's acting like she's doing it on her own. Yeah, I know. I know. But the thing is, oh, poor suffering me with my millions of dollars. Okay. Poor suffering me. I make almost $1 million a year and I am suffering. Okay. So what's the name of what? MDK is an American case study.
Yes.
Women like yourself who do the wife role,
Mm.
the professional role, and the mother role all at the same time, that is a different standard of operation.
Right.
And I am not too proud to admit that I don't feel confident in my competence
Mm.
to have been able to execute all of those roles at the same time,
You know,
which is why the bifurcation was
you,
an issue.
you know yourself. You can't get along with a man in your house. Okay, come on. You already know that. You are the epitome of a side chick. Okay.
Choice from me.
Right. I first of all, I received that.
Mhm.
And I will admit that's difficult, right?
What if your family's dysfunctional to begin with? Okay, then you're not going to be around your family. Okay. If you're not going to be around your family, that's a different case study, right? Okay. Then you know the thing is, what did I just say? Okay, about this. Okay, I know I have sometimes, maybe I need to slow down and use crayons. I'm going to say this slowly this time, okay? Because you didn't understand the scenario in the first place, okay? The scenario was in this discussion was they have husbands or boyfriends that pick their mother over their wife, okay? And the reason they do that is because the wife or girlfriend can't get along with the mother, okay? Personality conflicts, okay? Which is going to cause a conflict in your relationship and your marriage, okay? And my thing is, why would you pick a wife, especially a wife that you're going to have kids by, that cannot get along with your family or your mother? Why would you pick her? If you're going to choose your family over your wife, why would you pick a wife that cannot get along with your mother if that's part of your requirements? Now, do you understand where I'm coming from? I don't care if the wife is dysfunctional, mother is dysfunctional. If you like your dysfunctional family, then pick a wife that gets along with your dysfunctional family, okay? Now, do you understand me? Okay. All those $50 words saying that she can't keep them. She doesn't need to be with a man. It's not that she can't keep one. The thing, she doesn't want to keep one because of her personality. Okay.
Do
That's
with
how you
you.
tense all
Yeah,
up,
because
child.
She's admitting that she's disagreeable. She's saying that.
I'm like,
I
oh,
know,
because I don't know that I'm doing.
but you got to
There's
hear
a
that.
level of
Yeah.
self-awareness
Mhm.
that you have in so many aspects that I don't even know that I had it. I think that I just thought that's
Um, yeah, I'm gonna rub it in. You know why I'm gonna rub it in? Okay. I'm gonna say this because I was just talking to my folks, okay? My brain trust, okay? My think tank, okay? I spend time and effort to make things very simple. Okay. I spend time to thoroughly explain something so that if I said the same thing to my grandsons, okay, who are 10 years old, okay, they could understand what I'm saying. So that's why I rub it in. So when you ask me a dumbass question, if I went to a great extent to explain why I was saying something, it gets on my fucking nerves, okay? It does. That's why. That's why I rub it in. If you're gonna ask a dumbass question, don't be afraid of the blowback.
just what you have to do, right? There isn't,
Well, what
and
other
that's
option
why
has been shown
but
to
that's
us?
why I love while
Yeah.
you say choice,
Yes.
because I don't know that I really felt that I even had that choice. It was
Right.
like you're gonna either you're going to be a wife and a mother and a professional,
Mhm.
or you're not, right? You're not
Mhm.
going to get any of those things. You'll be a professional.
Yeah, yeah. You'll be the success. You'll be the Oprah model.
Right.
Right.
You'll be, it's either or. And I
Yes.
think there are a lot of
Yes.
black women that are like, I either get this choice or I get
Yeah.
this
You
choice.
take the full package.
Right.
You take the all inclusive.
Right.
Or you stay your ass at the house.
Exactly.
And what we're seeing now is that there's more a la
There's
carte
more, absolutely.
that you can
And it is,
customize it
it's
and build it how you want.
actually in black women.
You can build it how you would. Okay. What did one thing I can say about Thomas Sowell that actually applies to most scenarios, right? There's no solutions, only trade-offs. Okay. What trade-offs are you making when you do that? Now you have to find a man that meets your requirements that will help you raise your child. Now you have to raise your kid a la carte. You're making the job way more difficult than it needs to be. Okay. To bring up normal kids, okay. I didn't have to do that much to actually raise up normal kids. Okay, my kids are perfectly normal. Okay, they're if you meet them, you'll say they're well mannered. They're good people. They don't have any issues psychologically. They're very very normal. They don't have a whole bunch of trauma. Okay, if you have to meet them. In fact, my daughter. My youngest daughter, right? Because she thought that blah blah blah, and the way she was raised, da da da. And then she started going to high school, and she says, okay, she's meeting a lot of kids whose parents don't love them because she's surrounded by a village, okay? And she meeting people and kids, the stuff that don't have what who she had. Now she's grateful, okay? My kids are grateful about how they were raised now, okay? In fact, to the point that they didn't want to stop, they actually wanted to stay children. They didn't actually want to become adults. But that's a different story.
Best interest to
Yes.
customize it and build it how they want.
You want.
How
Yes,
you want.
yes. And there's some women who, and this is why I say this single mother by choice thing is not for everybody, Danielle. I was very comfortable in my choice of bifurcation. But like I have some close girlfriends who are considering it. They're in their either late 30s or early to mid 40s.
Mhm.
And I don't recommend it for them. Let me tell you why.
Mm.
Because it's a real thing
Mhm.
to sit in a prenatal
Yes.
doctor's appointment
Yeah.
in a pregnant posture
Right.
and be there by yourself.
By yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not have the wife or the husband
Right.
or the they, whatever
Right.
your situation is,
Yes.
holding your hand,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
rubbing the belly.
Yes.
When you get home that night, making the salt bath
Yes.
for your feet.
Yes. Yes.
And I respect and deeply connect when I
Mhm.
hear Black women tell me, that's how I want it.
Right.
That's how I
Yes.
want it. Yes,
Yes.
I want the baby. Yes, I want to be the teacher and the caretaker and the
Right.
mother. But I also want my man, my man, my man.
Right. I want the partner.
Or my lady, my lady, my lady.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that's real. And
Yeah.
I also will not stand in a posture of shame around that.
Mhm.
You
That's
get
right.
that. That's what.
right.
That's how you want it,
If
sis.
that's what
You get
That's the trade-off. She's talking about the trade-off. Okay. There's the trade-off. There's stuff that she's comfortable with trading off for what she's doing. Okay. And she's being real because she had to go through it. Now she's being real about it. Okay. Before it was like, oh, theory and all this bullshit that you got to be this, blah, blah, blah. She's changed over the past since the thing with Iyanla Van Zant. She's changed a lot. A lot. The way she talks has changed a lot. Even though she's not perfect, okay, she's changed a lot.
that, and you deserve that, and you don't settle for anything less than that. Because matter of fact, here's the cautionary of that. This is very important. If that's really how you want it, and you have not done the work to grieve that setup before you go on this single mother by choice thing, you are doing both yourself and your child a tremendous
Exactly.
disservice.
Exactly.
Because then that child, and I believe in the unborn child, receiving energy. I mean, it's proven, it's science.
Yes,
right,
yes.
right. And no child deserves to be born in the midst of your deep grief,
Right.
around a preferred version of your experience,
Or to sustain some level of
Yeah, because all they know is okay. The as a teenager, you don't know what you're missing. All you know is your family dynamic. You have no idea what somebody else's family dynamic is. What you have and what you don't have. Right? Okay. Even coming up. Okay. My parents are sharecroppers. So there's a lot of stuff that I didn't get. Okay. That if had I been with a upper middle class family with two educated people, I'd have got a lot more. But thing is, it is what it is. But thing is, I came from the ghetto, and there's a whole lot of folks, a whole lot of families, a whole lot worse than mine. Okay, so I consider myself lucky and unlucky at the same time. Okay, that's why I'm not unhappy about how I was raised. Okay, uh, were my parents perfect? And far from it. Was they the worst parents on the planet? Hell no. Okay. Okay, but that's the luck of the draw. Those are the cards that you're dealt. Okay, but at least, but she's grown up. If you listen to her before Iyanla Van Zant and after that, okay, you can say she has changed. And this experience about her being pregnant by herself changed her a whole lot. Okay, she might still be mean and evil, but she's honest right now. I said the the maternity asked her, "Who's the father?" Ebony, oh, they already know. Okay, they already knew who it was because it's on her chart. Okay. And she has to be handled specially is because it's actually an IVF. Okay. They don't handle IVF women the same way as they do regular pregnancies.
resentment,
all of that.
Absolutely. You're doing yourself, you're setting,
Yeah, Michael, can she find a stay-at-home husband that she can stand? That's the problem.
setting yourself and your child up for failure.
Yes, and many of us are the result of that. Hello,
Absolutely.
somebody.
Come on.
We
Come
maybe didn't
on.
have the language or
Right.
whatever, but if we
Yes.
think through some of our own origin stories,
Absolutely.
how many of our mothers were grieving either husbands that were insufficient or not there, or that they thought the man was going to stay until he decided he was. Figure that out on the front end.
Yes.
And if that is really where your heart is, honor that.
Right.
But again, for me, who had just arrived at a very different place,
Right.
I was really able to sit in full celebration in my solo capacity, in those spaces, in those waiting rooms, in the delivery room. And this was mine.
She grew up like that. Her mother was a single mother. Okay. She was raised by a single mother, and she did not know who her father was till she was in her 30s. So this is normal to her. It wasn't that big a leap.
This was really my fantasy,
Right.
Danielle. This was my, if not fantasy, certainly preferred way to have this motherhood experience.
Yes.
And that's very important.
And I love that you got to live your fantasy. I love that came your fairy tale.
My version of the fairy
your
tale
version
came
of the
true.
fairy tale came true.
Yeah.
I want to lean into
Gundam, when you have nannies and help and maids and stuff like that, it ain't that hard, boss. I have 3 kids. Having a kid ain't that hard. It's really not. People make it sound harder than it is. It ain't that. Having a baby and having a little one, it takes time, but hell, babies sleep like what? 12, 13 hours a day. Okay. It ain't that hard. The thing is, can you be stationary? The biggest thing about um, babies, especially, is irregular sleep schedules and being stationary. Okay, is because you can't take them everywhere. But other than that, they're not babies. Are not is when them critters start moving around. Okay, when that baby starts get like 2 or 3 and start being able to move around, that's when you have a problem. When that baby's stationary, it's not that hard. A newborn is not that hard. It's when that critter starts to walk and talk, that's when the problems start.
The title
Yes.
single mother by choice, right?
Yes.
Because as we also talk about, okay, statistically we know that Black women are single.
Mhm.
Culturally,
Mhm.
single mom comes with a lot of baggage, right? In
Mhm.
our culture, in Black
100%.
culture, there is a lot of
Trauma,
tropes and
trauma,
trauma, and
pain.
and just
Yeah.
assumptions,
Shame,
shame.
shame. Yeah.
Oh, it's because it causes problems. Okay, that's why. It's not a trope. It's not a shame. It's not just a title. That shit causes problems. It causes problems in society without having a two-parent household home. You act like uh, this is just some kind of social trope. No, it's not. Get your third eye ready when the baby starts crawling. Well, no, crawling is not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad when the baby starts walking. Okay, like I said, I got 3. When the baby starts walking, that's when you have problems because they get into all kind of shit. Okay, it's really when they get about 2 or 3 and they get curious and start messing with shit and can reach shit. That's when you have to start watching the kid. Okay. But they choose to be single mothers. Yeah, yeah, because this whole thing. If Black women didn't really have to be with men in their house, they probably wouldn't be. Okay. And this is something that comes from slavery. Okay. They really don't want you in their house. They really you're there as a means to an end.
Around single motherhood. So, how
Yeah.
do you feel about the title single mom by choice?
Yes.
And how are you reframing the understanding of what a Black single mother is?
Yes. I love the title, Danielle.
Mm.
This
I said it was hard to accept that my wife was a man in a woman's body, constant power struggle. When this is the case, guys, don't ignore the father history. Yep, yep. Yeah, the thing is, with women like that, it's a special use case, okay? Special use case, okay? You're gonna get some benefits by her being that way, but the thing is, will the benefits outweigh uh, the trade-offs that you're gonna get? Okay. My fiance, she was a little bit more masculine, right, and more mousy, okay. But the thing is, and she was beautiful, okay. But the thing is, there's trade-offs, okay. The power struggles are real, especially with a Black woman. Power struggles are real, and the only the only thing got me by is I was smarter than most of them, right? And they didn't want to hear my mouth.
is a hot take
Yeah.
in the community of
Mhm.
those of us who parent alone
Yes.
with intention. I love single mother by choice because I think the by choice piece is so um congruent
Mhm.
with the way I value this process.
She's
I
very careful about how she uses her words. Okay.
acknowledge myself as an outlier.
Yep.
I
Yes.
think this is important centering for this whole conversation, Danielle.
Mhm.
I think anybody looking at me and Liberty and my
Mhm.
story and feeling inspired by aspects or
Mhm.
curious about
Sure.
other pieces of it, I think that is wonderful and I invite it and
Yeah.
I'm more or less an open book about it.
Yeah.
But by no means am I saying come one, come all, and
She says she's an outlier. Okay. She's admitting that she's not. But basically, this is not only she's painted it in a positive manner, but she's also saying this is a cautionary tale. Okay, don't do what I did if you're not ready for it. A popular Black female influence definitely pushed living in separate homes, but together, and women ate that up like most men would be on board. Yeah. Okay. The thing is, okay, you can do that. What does the man get for being with you if that's the case? Okay. I always think about what I get. Okay, right now it's what she gets. Okay, what does the man get for being with you? They never talk about that. I want a partner, but there's always a one way partnership. What do I give him that will make him stay with me? She is an outlier. No, she's an outlier. No, she's an outlier. Okay. Single by choice is an outlier. Okay. She is an outlier. How many women, how many black women are waiting to their late 30s, early 40s to actually go through that process, spend $100,000 to have a kid? Okay. Freeze the eggs. Uh, wait till you're 40. I think she was like 40, 41 when she started the process. Go through the process to have a kid and all the failures and shit like that, and all the needles and stuff like that. Uh, how many black women actually go through this? I'll wait. The ground. Well, this. I mean, she's holding up. But thing, this is what light skinned women with a round face look like when they get her age. Okay, she's in her mid 40s. This is what she's supposed to look like. She's not unusual. Female beauty has genetic, social, and economic benefits if you have a plan for how to use it, and she accommodates that. It can be cost beneficial to put up with some of her bullshit. Yeah, you can if you have a use for it, right? Okay. Um, like Russell Wilson, right? Why he picked Sierra? Because she tilts the floor, right? He benefits from her looking that way. Most guys cannot. It's like having it's like driving a Ferrari to work every day. Okay, with the maintenance. Okay, you'd be better off instead of having a $400,000 Ferrari and get you a $20,000 Toyota if you're gonna drive it to work every day. Okay, that's because that's what it's built for. Okay, she's a Ferrari, not a Toyota. The whole notion that women can't even think they can be independent of men. Okay, they can't is because um, she can is because she can get her stuff a la carte. That's why she can get her stuff a la carte. She's gonna collapse mentally when she sees that nuclear family in the park, and she's already prepared for it because that's how she grew up. She grew up with a single mother. Okay, this is not uncommon. This is not unusual to her. That's how she grew up. She's replicating her mother, so she'll be fine with it. She's already fine with it. She's actually 42. Her birthday past week. She's basically her mid 40s. Okay, and she was 40, 41 when she actually because her baby is just a year old, right? Okay, so she was 40, 41 when she had this process. Okay, she's an outlier. I'm just happy she has a daughter. I could care less. Okay,
Do it
Yes.
this way.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that there are some things about my background,
Mhm.
some things about my
yes,
spiritual gifts,
Sure.
that position this to be the right choice for me.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. If you grew up in a 2 parent household, you're trying this. Like she said, do not try this at home.
And I
Mhm.
don't think it applies to most Black women.
Mm.
Now, so that's why I wanted to get to. So, in the community of those of us that mother in solo capacity, most reject the
Mhm.
label
Mhm.
single mother by choice because they would say, this wasn't my choice.
Right.
They would
Okay.
say, no, I'm only a single mother with intention, many
Mhm.
have said, or a solo mom, as some
Mhm.
just prefer to call them.
Okay.
So they just leave it there. I'm just a
Yep.
solo mom
Yep.
because I wanted to have the man.
Right.
Even some
Right.
that were married and got divorced, I wanted to get married again.
Yes. Yes.
And I wanted and still believe that the best scenario is a dual parent household. But
Mhm.
because I, for whatever the
For
reason,
whatever reason.
didn't find the partner,
Sure.
didn't find the guy, I wasn't going to let that stand in the
I
way.
wasn't willing to give up.
Correct.
Yes.
I wasn't willing to abandon my dream of motherhood. So now I'm a single mother.
Yes.
But they don't want to be, I guess they don't want to
What-
disrespect
Right.
their authentic desire.
Right. Of the
which-
original
of the original
intention, of the
intention.
original idea.
Correct. So I
Sure.
totally and deeply respect and understand fellow solo moms that reject the by choice piece because this is
Sure.
not my choice. I am different than them
Sure. Yep. Yes.
in
yes.
that, again, I married the man, I divorced the man, I was engaged again. Say, whoa, horses, because I feel like I'm going right back down down
Right.
a path that's going to be unsuccessful
Yes.
long
yes,
term.
Yes. Yes.
And it's one thing to do that when it's just two consenting adults. I
Mhm.
think it's an entirely different level of stakes involved when children who
Yes.
didn't ask
Oh,
to be here are involved.
Are involved. Absolutely.
And that alone, Danielle, was enough to make me say, this ain't it with that last
Mhm,
relationship.
mhm.
Again, wish you well, sir. And I am now going to go about the business of how I know I was intended to walk on this earth,
Yep.
which is in a solo capacity.
Yes.
With
With.
a romantic companion.
So what does that look like right now? I mean, are you
I don't think she despises black men or white men or men, period. I think she understands that she's not a wife, okay? She ain't no wife. Because white women out there just like that, okay? She ain't no wife. She's not built to be in a household with a man. And instead of making herself miserable and him miserable, okay, uh, she's not built for that. So she's doing it the unconventional way. Kendra G tried to do Ebony K. Williams, but wasn't successful. Scenes freezing eggs and stuff. Basically, it's a high risk um, endeavor. Let's put it that way. It wasn't a choice. She couldn't be with a mother that a Jewish man when he chose his kids over her during COVID. Yeah, well, she's making a case why men shouldn't be married. In this day and age, probably so. Okay. Possibly, but thing is, however she wound up, okay. However she wound up, she couldn't be with that man. She couldn't stick the landing, okay. And the man told us you were only a side chick anyway. He was never engaged to her, okay. He was never engaged to her. He never said he was engaged to her. She said it. He never said that. She was always a side chick. And she finally woke and realized I've been a side chick for 6 years, and this ain't it. So instead, and I know I cannot get along with a man in my house. Let me do it this way. And she's right. She's come to know herself. She had a promise ring. Yeah, right. Did he say that? How many men in the chat actually raise kids? I don't know. That's a good question. It is a good question. Yeah, but the thing is that I've met women like this. I've met women like this with kids. Okay, they were married or something like that and got divorced, and they're mean like that. Okay.
dating
I'm
actively?
dating. Yeah, I'm dating.
Okay, what? Tell me. Give me the tea, sis.
Yeah.
Like what does it? I mean, Liberty's still young, so it's not
She ain't that young.
necessarily
She
like.
about to get Social Security. What you know about? You saw the
Like,
video.
well,
She's
I know
crawling
she
and
out
walking
here.
and
She
in
about
the
to be she about to be
things.
walking any day now.
Yeah, yeah.
She gonna be in somebody's. Okay, and that's her way of being
Yeah.
like, and who are you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what you got on it?
What are the
Yeah.
things that what are right? Okay,
Yeah.
and what are you considering then? Like, what are you thinking about? Because even though you might not be looking, not you're not, even though you are not looking necessarily for another parent,
Right. How
you
this man shows up in her life will matter.
absolutely.
Yes.
So
Yes.
how
Why does that man have to show up in her life? Okay, if you're dating.
does that impact
Character.
how you date?
Character. So that's a good one because it also keeps me honest about who I'm letting in and out of my space. 'Cause
Right.
I'm still human. I'm still
Sure,
a woman.
sure.
So we know how sometimes you have it set in your head. This is what it is. But then you see.
But basically, if I was counseling her as a woman and she's dating and she wants a man to be in that little girl's life, I would find a man that has children that are grown, that are the way that you want your daughter to be. Okay? Because he's already done it. If he's already gone through those lessons and already done it, he's better at raising that child than you are. That's the man I would pick if I were her. That's the way I would pick. A man that's 40, 45, sort of like Uru, that's already done it and raised successful children, okay, that you can observe and know that he's already done it. And so he doesn't need to have your kid because he's already had his kids. But seeing as he has the knowledge of raising a child, right? So basically he's gonna be more like that child's grandparent than the child's parent, okay? Because he's already done it. No, I don't think she's trying to implement a package deal. What she's trying to do is, okay, what she's trying to do is find a guy that interested enough in her, not marriage, but saying is that can actually be around her child. There's a lot of guys who can do that because really, somebody like me, it's no big deal. Okay, since I already had kids. I've been around taking care of kids since I was like 4 years old with my little brothers and sisters and stuff like that, and nieces and nephews and shit like that. Okay, it ain't that big a deal. Okay, as long as she's cool. Okay, normally the biggest problem in being around kids from another woman is that woman. The biggest problem is always a woman. It's not really the children per se. Okay, once as long as if you know how to discipline and raise kids properly, the kids are rarely the problem. Are rarely the problem. I said, uh, jihad Jihad a breakthrough. Oh, she had a breakthrough. What puts me off about her thinking is that attitudinally, it's the same thinking, believing that she can redefine established norms with no authority or consequence. Is how broken families can be. The thing is, she's saying, okay, she's already said, okay, do not do what I do because I am not the norm. Okay, I am not the norm. She's not going to listen to that man, and I bet her mother is going to be a huge impediment to. Probably so. The thing is, probably so. My mama says I got 3 girls. Okay, uh, 27, 21, and 18. Yep. No, she's not. I think. I think she's not trying to have a family. What she wants is a partner. Okay, a boyfriend that's cool being around her kid. I don't think she wants a husband. She wants a boyfriend that can get along with her child, which is not a big ask. If a man had his kid, he's got a girlfriend, and the girlfriend's going to be in and out of the kid's life. He wants a girlfriend that's cool with the kid. He's not trying to get a wife. She's not trying to get a husband. She's not trying to get a husband. Okay. She's not trying to get a daddy. Okay. She's trying to find a boyfriend that's cool with her kid.
Somebody like, well,
Right.
you know, I
Right.
mean, how important is honesty?
No, and that's also a thing you do when you're single, when you don't have kids, right? You
Yeah,
make
that's what I'm
Well, the thing is, if he's going to be in the household, then he has to discipline, right? If he's just a boyfriend that's cool with the kid, he ain't got to do none of that. Okay. He ain't got to do none of that. That's on her. No, not even common law. I don't think she wants to have a man in her house. I think she just want a boyfriend that's cool with her kid. And that's not very hard to do. Okay. If you raise kids, being cool with a kid is not hard to do because when it comes down to say the kid's acting up or cutting up, blah blah blah, and basically, hey, you know what? Hey, call your mama, get your mama on the phone, have her straighten you out, and then you all have to have a talk because I'm out of it. Not even sugar uncle. No, it's not the same. Consider that she's such an outlier. What does she expect most black women to take from what she is sharing? I think she says it's a cautionary tale. Okay, if you cannot be me, you don't have my means, you don't have my attitude, you don't have my outlook on life. Do not do this shit. Okay, even though they're trying to put a jokey emoticon on it, right? Okay, don't pick a chick like me, even though there's a jokey joke on it.
willing to make compromises.
and move the bar a little bit
Yes.
here and there. And Liberty keeps me very honest about that.
Mm.
Because now it's not, like I said, it's not about him being a father to her, but it's about him being in proximity to her,
Yes.
Yes,
certainly,
see?
and that being enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Enough for me to hold the line.
Yes.
So again, luckily for me, my values are pretty consistent with what I want for her is what I want for me. Right.
Mhm.
So again, that is integrity. Who you are when no one's looking. I need that to be the same as who you are when everybody's looking,
Mm.
sir. Especially in this Instagram social media era we live in.
That's right.
I need you to have cultural competency,
Mm.
right? So it's no secret that, I have dated globally
Mhm.
and across the identity spectrum. But at this point, I think it would be very difficult for me to date and even deeply connect
Mm.
with a man that doesn't have extraordinary competence as it relates to blackness.
Right.
Period.
Sure.
Period.
Mm.
And that
I don't know about you. I don't know about your blackness, baby. So anyway.
probably will be in the version of a black man.
Yeah.
That is where I am centered right
Mhm.
now.
Okay.
So I'm looking for a good man, Savannah. No.
Amen. A good
A
man.
good man, Savannah.
A
Savannah.
good man. That's good man,
Good
Savannah.
man, Savannah.
Raggedy ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a good man that can play with me, right?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
be curious about the world with me,
Mhm.
see some of this through Liberty's eyes with me, because you're going to come on the Disney cruise.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I-
She was looking for a boyfriend and be cool with her kid. And just like I said, I already knew.
Like to, too.
yeah, I mean, of course. Of course. Okay.
Is that the answer for you?
That is the answer, girl. And I love
How
that.
specific is that?
No, that
And what does he get? And what does he get out of all this for playing that role? What does he get?
that's very I appreciate the specificity.
That's it.
How have the dates been? Have you had good, bad,
What's
and
the
the ugly?
tea? Yeah.
What's the tea?
Okay. So the good news is I've not had any like horrible dating
Okay.
experiences thus far. So
Okay.
I started dating when she got to 6 months.
Okay.
I did want to feel. And listen, I had been told this by other mothers,
Okay.
including you. Like, if you're gonna wait to feel like 100% yourself, you're gonna be
Yes.
waiting,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
at some point, you kind of just got to
That's
get
right.
your toe in the water.
Yes, that's right.
So I have gone out on some dates, had some nice experiences.
Okay.
Here's another good thing about being the man that I was waiting to
Waiting,
save me
yes.
from the whatever. What's so lovely now, Danielle,
Mhm.
in addition to being a mother in my own circumstances, I now have full and complete access to most any room I want to be in.
Right.
In the
right.
world, actually,
Yeah.
and certainly in New York City. So while I have gone on dates, even that's off the table. Like, I'm
Mm.
no longer dating for experiences. I'm
Mm.
dating purely for connection.
Oh, I love that.
And it doesn't matter if we're on the couch watching Netflix, or we're in the Michelin star restaurant, or we're in the Greek.
And so, will you date the bus driver now?
Now it's really the vibes. It's really
Ebony,
the connection.
This sounds fun.
It is fun. That's what I'm telling you. It's been fun. So have I met Mr. Lifetime have I met Mr. Lifetime Companion yet?
Mhm.
No.
Okay.
But I have gone on dates. I've gone on dates with the same man a few times.
Okay.
Because
okay.
that's even a thing. Like,
Sure.
okay, a first date.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
But
Is there gonna be
what's a second date?
Yes.
What is a third date like?
Yes. Yes.
I'm working with a fantastic dating coach.
Okay.
Y'all can
Okay.
work it out in the comments. But he said to me, and it was funny, but it was true. He was like, "Girl, when's the last time you done a third date? Okay, we working with something now." And it was true.
And it's why she pick notice she picked a man as a dating coach instead of a woman. Why did you pick a man as a dating coach?
Why a
True.
dating coach? What
Yeah.
factored into your decision to work with a dating coach?
Sure. So wasn't anything I was looking for. Then y'all didn't say, okay, once I have the baby, then I'm gonna dating coach.
Sure.
I came across this particular individual,
Mhm.
and so much of what they were saying spoke specifically to the type of Black woman I am.
Okay.
Ambitious, successful,
Mhm.
and really looking for love in ways that broke cultural and generational traumas
Mm.
before me.
Mhm,
I want to love
mhm.
different. I want to
Yes.
love fuller.
Yes.
I want to love like in a totally elevated new
Yeah.
way.
Right.
I have worked with matchmakers before because I get that question often,
Mhm,
and I've talked about it. And I think a matchmaker could be great.
Sure.
The reality is, I didn't have a problem, and most women don't have problems
Right.
meeting men.
Sure. Sure.
No disrespect to the matchmakers of the world.
Right.
My challenges were how I was dating. How was I
Mm.
showing up on these dates?
Mm.
And like a lot of Black women, especially the ambitious and powerful and successful ones,
Mhm.
we understandably operate in a lot of masculine posture.
Yes,
Um,
yes. So you had to break that. Okay. So it took a man to teach you about men. She couldn't learn that from a woman.
And
Yeah.
without going into the red pill of it all,
Yes.
Well, here we
that's
go.
a bunch of bullshit.
Right. Masculine energy,
yeah, it's
feminine
like, just
energy,
let's
the
It's not a bullshit, but you're adhering to it.
whole yeah.
But let's honor the fact
Mhm.
that when you have not had anyone, often
Mhm.
male or female,
Mhm.
show up for you in your entire existence in ways that made you feel safe,
Mhm.
in ways that made you feel that there was enough of
Right.
anything, love, resources,
Right.
protection, fill
Yeah.
in the blank, you do embody that for yourself.
Yeah.
And you are the protector and the
Sure.
provider
Yeah.
and the nurturer and the
Mhm.
caregiver. And all of that is lovely, but then it's really difficult to let someone do for you.
Mhm.
In my case, I'll name my challenge. I have a hard time. I'm getting so much better, but I have historically, Danielle, had a hard time allowing folks to do for me without wondering what is the catch.
Mm.
Mhm.
When is the
Other
itemized bill going to
yes.
come in?
When's that other shoe gonna
When's it
drop?
going to drop? When do I owe you?
Yeah. She dating like a man. Baby mama shouldn't expect anything. Yeah. Well.
When are you going to weaponize it against me?
Mm.
Right. And so my work with my dating coach has really been about releasing myself from the burden of showing and earning and proving.
Mm.
I'm not a gold digger because I have my JD and I make this much money.
And I'm proving that I'm a man. Okay.
Have this show, all
Ooh.
of that, not even realizing it,
Mm.
but just wanting to show competence, wanting
Right.
to prove my worth,
Right.
wanting
Yeah.
to
Right.
show
And you trying to be a man and you're not a man.
you I can match you, and
Right,
and not
right.
in a
Yeah.
competitive way, in a way
In a
that,
way that's
that I don't want you to pity me.
sure. Ooh.
Yeah. In other words, she's trying to prove male competency, and that's not what he's looking for. Okay. It took a man to tell her that. Yeah, she's asking her. Yeah, basically for most women, okay, Okay, a man is actually a better dating coach for most women. For most women, men are actually better dating coaches than women are. Believe it or not. Okay, because men are more pragmatic. Okay, and less emotional about it. Women are more about feeling. Okay, men are not. And men are a good coach is brutally honest. Okay, about who you need to be, how you show up, what you're actually exhibiting, how you're going to get success. Okay, women are not that. That's because women are not good coaches. They're not. They're not good coaches. Anyway, she got a 1991 voice. Uh, she's got a broadcaster voice. Okay, it's a trained broadcaster voice. She's really triggered by that bus because it pointed out something to her, um, that she wasn't aware of. Okay, you basically you have class tendencies. There's nothing wrong with it, but admit it. I come from a certain class. I want my man to come from a certain class. Okay, so I would not be comfortable dating a bus driver. Okay, and and he doesn't qualify for me, and I would drive him nuts. Okay, I'm a bad fit for him. I got to get men to accept it. Okay, this chick is a very special use case. Do not date her or be around her or interact with her unless you are ready, unless you have a use case for her, a very particular use case, okay, for her. Anyhow, all right, good people. Her and Claudia Joy, yeah, because they had to grow up and be men. Yeah. She's trying to qualify when you can bring out your degree and your earnings and your accomplishments and blah yada yada. That's what women want to hear. Okay, men don't want to hear that shit. Okay, now she's into connection. Okay, a man is getting a woman is because he wants to feel. Okay, he don't want to compete. He don't want a homie because guess what? Even though you come up with most women in that position, right? Okay, they're not gonna be your buddy. They're not going to be your ride or die. They're not a partner to you in that way because what they want out of you is different than your buddy wants out of you. Okay, your buddy's going to help you be better. Can that woman help you be better and help coach you and understand you? That most women are not looking for that. She's looking for a man to actually understand her. Men do as I say, and I may accept you. Uh, basically, um, she's been taught in a school system to approach life in a certain way and be the best man that you can be. And like I said, she's the man. She's the man of she's actually the man of her dreams. She said that, right? Okay. How does a man of her dreams find a man unless another man unless that man is gay? Okay. You're a woman. You have a biology of a woman. You have the feelings of a woman. That's still underneath, right? The thing is that doesn't get fed. And you're not going to feed your female side by being in your masculine. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to help. Okay. The thing is about the child. The one thing about having the child and having that baby, it gets her into her feminine. And now she's got to confront that. Now she has to go through a whole different approach. It's not about what he has. It's not about what he does. It's not about this, that. It's about connection. Now she's into her feminine, forced into mold by her baby. Because now when she's with her child, she's forced to be a mother. She can't be a father. She's forced to be a mother. Claudia Jordan has been dating since 1990s, since Salt and Pepper came out. According to she has been, okay? Claudia Jordan's a dude. Claudia Jordan was an athlete. She was a track athlete, okay? She's a dude, okay? Claudia Jordan been a dude, okay? The thing is, now you want to be a female. You're not a female. You're a dude, okay? You got to act accordingly. You got to be like Pearl, okay? Pearl and a few others, right? You're a dude. You're not a female. You're a dude. You basically Claudia Jordan and Ebony K. Williams are looking for her male best friend. Okay, I've seen chicks like Ebony K, and I've seen chicks like Claudia Jordan, right? Okay, you're not gonna find an average dude. You got to find a dude that you can be a best friend with. Okay, and that's the only way it works. I know a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, right? Okay, and his wife is a good friend of mine, right? Okay, they started off as best friends. Okay, and when he said who he got married to, he said I got married to my best friend. Literally, because she's just like a dude. Like she's a buddy. She's my homie. Okay, she's gonna have to be a homie to her husband. Okay, you see, I mean, of all classes, you see that rough, tough chick that's damn near a thug and a gangster. Okay, who she married to? She married to a dude just like her. She married to her homie that matches her energy. Why don't Claudia Jordan and MK Williams hang out with gay dudes? No, but okay. It's because just like gay dudes don't really like other feminine gay dudes like that. Okay. She needs a masculine dude with masculine energy, but as a best friend. Stop dating and start looking for your best friend. If you look instead of if I were coaching her, start start hanging out and doing the stuff that you like and meet that man there, okay? And develop a best friendship first. That's going to be your best angle to be settling down with a guy. Because the guy's going to have most guys that are best friends with each other is because you guys match each other's psychology and stuff that you do, blah, blah, blah. You got to find a dude that does the shit that you like to do. And guaranteed she got a lot of masculine shit that she likes to do. Like a lesbian homie skits by Big J. Yeah. Yep. Is she a female sigma? No, she's literally. This is what you want to know what a female alpha looks like. This is a female alpha. Okay, she's not a sigma. Okay, this is a female alpha. Want to know what one looks like? Claudia Jordan, her are female alphas. Okay. The thing is, most female alphas do not like subordinates. That's the only thing about a female nature, right? The reason female alphas don't marry or get along with men is because, okay, she's got to have an alpha man as a buddy, okay, as her match, and her energy does not preclude that because most alphas don't want an alpha female at home. Okay, she's a female alpha. That's what she is. You want to know if you really want to know what a female alpha is and what she looks like, a lot of chicks say, I'm a boss chick, I'm a female alpha. No, this is a female alpha, a male alpha. Okay. She wants to lead. She wants to be in charge. She wants to be people to follow her, blah, blah, blah. I want to be the center of the room. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I want everybody to follow me. That's her. It's female alpha. The thing is, they taught women to ascend to that role, but the thing is, how do you accept the people that are under you? Because a male alpha has no problem with getting a beta female or a female that's supportive, okay, or a shy female, blah blah blah. He has no problem with it. As long as she's filling the spots that he needs to further fill, he'll stay with her forever. Okay, most alpha males or supremely alpha males have a very meek female wife. Okay, they don't have a strong wife behind them. They don't. So, and she's an alpha female. That's how come she can't get along with alpha males. Which the one with the big boobs, okay, the really big boobs is really masculine, okay. That's who she's most like. What she was crying is because they connected, because they're just like each other. That's how they connected. It's not really okay. Dating for the guy that she's looking for is not going to do her any good, right? It's because what she's looking for is somebody that mirrors her. Okay, the only way you're gonna it's like looking for a friend in say you a gamer, right? Okay, okay, and you need guys to hang out with. You're not gonna hang out with guys that read books for the most part. You're not gonna go to a book reading club and looking for a gamer buddy. Don't work that way. You're gonna hang out with gamers. You're gonna run with gamers, people to see the world that you see, the way you see the world. Okay, that's what she's gonna. In my opinion, that's what she's gonna have to do. Okay, I could be wrong. Okay, anyway, yeah. But if you really want to know what an alpha female is, okay, she's the poster child for alpha female. Baby mama shouldn't expect anything. Um, they should expect what they earn. Okay, a baby mama needs to know how she's rated and expect what she's worth. Okay, that's what she should do. Anyhow, y'all, I'm an hour and 30 minutes in, and I think that's enough. Okay, play most of it. You want to hear the rest of it? It's uh, it's pretty mundane. Okay, it's pretty. I mean, it's not that you haven't heard before, but thing is, one thing I like about her, about women like her, is she's honest. She's willing to be open and honest about her life. Okay, the mean side, the evil side, the stuff about people being mediocre and me not wanting to deal with blah blah blah. A lot of stuff that she said, she's being open and honest about who she really is. Okay, so that gives you a peek into uh, what kind of woman she is. And for 99, for 95, 99% of guys, she's probably a bad woman. Okay, for the 1% of guys that need what she has, okay, she's perfect. Okay, but it's a very small use case. Like Guru says, I don't see how she would be a benefit to the kind of man she would want. Too much bass in her voice. At some point, her act gets stale and she gets told to sit down somewhere and shut the fuck up. True. She has to find a guy that mirrors her. Okay. And then the thing is, you know, dating is not going to work for her. She's going to have to find. She's going to have to find the mirror image of Ebony K. Williams. Okay, and be happy with that. And sometimes he will tell her to shut the fuck up, and vice versa. What's the male version of Ebony K. Williams? I don't know enough about her, but uh, a lawyer type that's aggressive, that's mouthy, that's looks at the world the way she does. Okay, that is the kind of guy that she needs. Okay, the thing is, but she has to stop trying to be his wife and be his buddy, his best friend. Okay, those are two different roles. Okay, those are two different roles. And there's probably a very small niche group of men that will actually accept her that way because she's not a wife. But the thing is that at her age, with a kid, blah blah blah, she don't need a husband. Okay, she don't need a husband anymore. She's already made that choice. She don't need a husband. She needs a companion. Okay, so what she needs is a best friend. Anyhow, let me get out of here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. No, I meant is there a guy version of what she's experiencing, like a guy who acts like a chick and would no. She don't Ebony K. Williams does not act like a chick. Okay. What part of Ebony K. Williams acts like a chick other than the way she dresses? The way she talks, the way she moves, the way she thinks. What part of her acts like a chick? Just listening to her. Does she sound feminine to you? I'm asking for a friend. Does she sound feminine to you? Hmm? I'm asking for a friend. No, exactly. She don't sound feminine. She says she has problems with being feminine like that. Okay, that's her issue. She can't be that. So she had to find a dude that mirrors her. Okay, It's not gonna be a 1-to-1 match. But the thing is, a lot of her characteristics have to be mirrored. Okay, same thing with my buddy and his wife. It's not a 1-to-1 match. Okay, if you have a best friend, it's not a 1-to-1 match. Okay, she has to let go of a part of the controlling part of her personality. That's why she's a man. Okay, She knows it. That's why she's not a wife. She knows she said it. She said, I'm the man that I'm the man of my dreams. Okay. She knows what she is. She said it many times. She is not feminine. And I would gather that most women cannot stand to be around her. I, I, I I would gather that she's probably more comfortable around men than she is about women. I would almost bet if I could follow her around, I would gather that most of her friends are male and not female. Because most women, the way she talks, the way she carries herself, be very hard for most women to actually get along with her. Anyway, the video is 46 minutes. Anyhow, be just all the best to Ebony K. and her. Hey, I mean, I have no problem with it, man. Because I'm not talking to her anyway. Ebony acts like a corporate Wall Street type, but can't talk. She isn't it like men though. We don't know what we don't know what she's like when she's doing corporate speak with things. We don't know what she's like. Okay, I can tell you, she's a ball buster. Okay, just by her presence, she's a ball buster. Okay, um, and she's very male like. Okay, I can tell. I can tell that, and she'll be able to tell that. Okay. Uh, yeah, yeah. I would wager that too. And she's probably epitome. Okay. I think the question was, is there successful feminine men who are the woman of their dreams? Okay, a successful feminine man could not deal with her. It's because she's too harsh. Okay. As he's feminine and and if she's in the house, she's gonna hurt his feelings very badly. Okay, because she's really not that nice a person. She really isn't. I think my fiance said, I'm kind, but I'm not nice. My fiance was kind. She could be kind and generous, but she wasn't nice. And it clashed. The thing is that, okay, we were both Geminis, but my evil twin was worse than hers. And she saw that. Okay. Oh, this Negro can really hurt my feelings if I go there. And I would. I used to date a family court attorney. The practice jades you. Yeah, probably does. Yeah, no, no, she's not. She's not. She just said she's not. Okay, she's dating differently. Yeah, a feminine guy a guy that's in his feminine or is basically in his feeling side. She's gonna hurt his feelings. Okay, because she's brutal. Okay, most guys cannot handle her because she's brutal. Okay, she really is. She got a mouth on her that cuts, and most guys would have to walk away from her or actually clock her upside the head. So it's going to take a guy that mirrors her to get along with her. She's good for what she's good for. Okay, she's good for what she's good for. And she stated what she's good for, right? To be on your arm, to tilt the room. When she was young, to be the prettiest woman in the room. Okay, to draw eyeballs to you, and that's worth it to some guys. She's not that anymore. Javi, you are late, boss. Okay, you are late, but since you're my boy, I'll let you up. Okay, you're really late. 'Cause I'm getting ready to end. Okay. I mean, I think I broke it down as much as I can about her. Okay. I don't think I can break her down anymore, but it should be fairly obvious about what she needs and why I should use the octanes. Okay. This this chick, and she says she is not for like 99% of most guys. Okay. A very niche use, and most rich guys would not have her. Is because she's not a wife. Okay, she is a partner in every sense. If you don't have no use for her in a partnership, don't pick her. She proves one thing that men loves more than women will ever love. She wasn't able to put it all on the line just to love. Okay. Um, I say Tina Turner, what's love got to do with it, right? Does does she fit your need? Because most women, most of my women, I don't know that they love me until maybe 10 years later. Okay. Does she fit what I need from her? And does she fit what do I fit what she needs from me? That should be the first thing. Return on investment. Okay, I was talking about that to a chick that's earlier today, right? Because she spent I don't know how many years with a guy and trying to change him and hoping that down the line that they would marry. It never happened, right? And she did that multiple times. I said, okay. The thing is, I tell my guys, I tell you guys, get your ROI on day one. If she's not giving some of what you want out of her, don't date her. Okay, you should get something from that woman from day one. I have never dated a woman in my whole entire life that I regretted. Okay, all right, I got what I needed from that woman. However, if you want to come up, man, better do it now because I'm getting ready to get out of here. I think the wife of my 30 years loves me. Yeah. The thing is, okay, I'm gonna tell you, and then this is something that in fact, as I think the lady was saying this earlier today, right? Is that um, she really when she was a teenager she really loved her boyfriend, right? And her father broke it up, right? His father didn't approve of it, so they never really got together in that way. And I said probably it's because love love and logistics are two different things. Okay, just because you love that bitch, just because you love that hoe, or vice versa, okay, doesn't mean that marriage is going to work. Okay, well, marriage is about logistics as much as it's about love. Love is um is can be necessary, okay? But the thing is, logistics is probably far more important than love in a marriage. Can she show up and do for you what you need, and vice versa, okay? And some of your emotional needs that go along with it, okay? Can she fill your needs, okay? Now, whether she loves you or not, okay? If she can pretend that she loves you for 30, 35 years, and you die on your deathbed, and she been a good wife to you, you die, it don't matter, right? Okay. I think it was called Bridges of Madison County, right? Where she was in love with this guy, this salesman that came through, right? And loved him for her whole entire life. But guess she was a good wife and mother to her kids. And nobody knew anything until the end, right? Her husband did not know that the kids did not know that she didn't love their father until the very end. Okay, it didn't matter because guess what? She was actually a better wife to her husband and a better mother to her kids, and that's all that counted. Go ahead, Avi, jump in.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
All right, cool. No, so I heard most of what you're talking about. I came up here because I want to clarify what I was asking. I was asking, is there a male version, like how you called Ebony K, like you're like, oh, she's a dude.
Yeah.
Is there a male version, not of necessarily her, but like of a guy that acts just like a chick? Like women would be like,
No,
oh,
no,
I
no.
see her
Okay,
as my
you.
best
In
friend.
other words, she don't act like a chick. Okay, she's a dude.
No, I know that. I'm saying, is there like, would
Yeah,
you run into
they're male versions of dudes that are a little bit more feminine. Okay,
yeah,
that are
that's more so
softer.
what I was asking. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just saying
Oh, yeah.
like,
I mean,
what would that look like?
you know them. You've seen them. You know them.
I mean, would
Why
that
am I?
be Destiny or?
Destiny is different because Destiny's a twink, and Destiny is on the dark side. So basically, Destiny's more closer to BDSM versus the um feminine side. A soft guy.
Yeah, I was just looking for an example of like a guy that like dates women, but would have those like, okay, you move like a chick, women see you as a best friend, stuff like that.
There are guys like that. You know what? Usher would be like that. Usher is similar to that. Very similar.
Okay, I
Usher's very
mean,
yeah.
but I
Where
assume he doesn't have the same issues that she would have,
that Ebony
like
K.
how like
Williams?
she's
No,
yeah,
no,
like how
no,
she
no, no.
can't find an
Okay,
equals, stuff like that.
Ebony K. Williams cannot be with Usher. Usher will actually hurt Usher's feelings. Okay, because he's too sensitive. Okay.
But I'm saying like Usher himself, like regardless of Ebony K. Williams, I'm saying like how Ebony can't find a guy that's her mirror. I'm assuming that Usher wouldn't have a problem finding a woman that not say would reflect his energy, but would be like a missing piece to whatever he's.
The thing is that a guy that's in his feminine, okay, and pimps are close to that, but they're not without crossing over. A guy that's in his close to his feminine side have no problem with finding women. Okay, keeping them is another story, but finding them, no.
Okay, all right,
See 'em all
that was
the
what I
time.
was
You
asking.
see them
Yeah.
all the time. You see guys that are you can tell by the way they dress, man. They smell good. They're soft. They're into their feelings and stuff like that. They're in touch with their feminine side. And I would say Usher is
I have a
one.
random example with Ben Simmons from the
I don't,
76ers.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I couldn't tell you because I don't know. Most pro ball players are not, okay,
Okay.
because by the nature of the sport, okay, of their profession, they can't be. Uh, Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to compete at that level. There are people that are close to the feminine side and deal in that. I even look at somebody like what's his name? What's his name that played for the Miami Heat? Married to what's her
Oh,
name?
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade is probably closer. Another person is probably uh, Smith. Um,
Okay.
yeah. He,
Okay.
he's he's
Yeah.
he's very in touch with his feminine side, and guess what? He's got a very aggressive female, right? Masculine
Yeah.
female. Yeah. So,
Okay. I mean, yeah. No, you
but
answered it. That was it. That was it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There are plenty of guys that do that. They have no problem with finding women. I can tell you that. Prince, Prince was in touch with his feminine. Okay, very,
Yeah.
very feminine. Anyway, oh yeah, you got 2 minutes, man. Go ahead, get at it.
Um,
All right. Thanks for answering that question.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that D Wade is queer. I'm saying he's more in touch with his feminine. Okay. And there's guys out there that are very. I mean, I don't have to tell you. Everybody's met one. The guy that's he's straight, but the thing is, you know, he's got a feminine grace to him. Let's put it that way. I mean, we all know that guy. So go ahead, Leon, real quick. Russell Wilson is not that guy. Russell Wilson is people. People are taking Russell Wilson's projection of who he is as who he is. Russell Wilson is not who he actually portrays to be. Okay, ask his teammates. Russell Wilson's a boss. Okay, don't let Russell Wilson's persona fool you. Big Trick, you coming up or what? You got something to say? Real quick, man. We
yeah.
got
Yeah. She kind of reminds me of my GM's ex-wife because I used to work at Automax when I was like
mm
18, 19. And it's when I see a lady like her, there's two sides of a business, and you just stay the hell out of her way, pretty much. And it's like
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, if you're owner of a dealership like I worked at,
yeah,
like the way she articulated herself,
yeah,
it made the managers feel insecure,
yes,
because there was an issue where they left some keys and she was trying to figure out where the car was, and I explained it, and she asked me questions in a particular type of way, and I answered them,
yeah,
and it was about 5 minutes, and then she just walked out, and
yeah.
she said, "Hey, go down, handle this, and just tell me when you get it down." I said,
O-
"Okay."
Okay,
The manager said to me, "Oh, why do you answer her questions like that, but not ours?" I said, "She's just 100% direct. She's trying to
hmm
get to a purpose.
yeah,
Y'all have a slight edge of arrogance, like you're special."
yeah,
Yeah, and I just think when I seen Bradley like grab his head when she's talking to him, and just like, oh my god, but it's like she's like the person that you send out, and you don't have to worry about talking to anybody. You just have to worry about doing the work, and she just
okay,
handles all that type of shit.
uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I was with that lady, I wouldn't even have to speak when we go out. I'll leave it all up to her.
Yeah,
That's yeah.
now the thing is, when you get home, can you deal with her?
Yeah, can you deal with her? That's the interesting thing when you're inside the home.
It's not okay outside the home where she's a side chick, blah blah blah. But can you deal with her as a partner, as your woman?
Yeah, yeah,
Can
and
you?
I've seen those type of women in the DMV.
I
So
ask you a question. Can you deal with her as your woman? Yes or no? No.
nah, I'm
Now,
more
okay.
relaxed. I'm more
No,
chill.
no. Yeah, her
Ah,
mouth will
yeah,
get her in trouble.
yeah.
Stop.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucker,
Oh
motherfucker don't
yeah,
lie.
yeah, yeah,
Motherfucker don't
yeah.
lie to
You
me.
know,
Okay? Don't lie
you
to me.
know.
Okay? Don't give me a bull.
I ever catch me with another chick in the bed
No.
on purpose.
Basically, she gonna get loose with the lips. She gonna say something really,
Hmm.
really cutting, right? Okay, because she's
No
pissed or
reason.
whatever, no reason. You have to hold your hand because you actually getting ready to backhand her. I'm gonna
Yeah,
catch
and
a
my
case. I'm gonna catch a case with this bitch. Okay, get
and
with
my
her.
dad, my dad is a whole lot better with me when it comes to that type of stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I feel you.
So she has to find a guy. I think some Charles maybe the kind of guy that she needs. Charles would be closer to her because Charles is Aries and her kind of shit doesn't get on his nerves. Okay.
Yeah, and it's hard to know when she's directing it towards you or you trying to figure out that and just sitting down, even if it's aggressive towards you because you said something like you're
Mhm,
attempting to fix the issue for her.
mhm.
Instead of you're better off not saying anything to have anything
And,
directed towards you.
do you need that kind of woman? Because the
Yeah.
thing is, one two things is gonna happen with a chick like that. She gonna hurt your feelings, you're gonna hurt hers, and that's where the problem's
Yeah.
gonna start. Yeah. Anyway, all
Hmm.
right, okay, okay.
Yep. I'll
Why?
let you.
Let me ask
Oh,
you this:
go ahead.
Why the fuck are you guys so interested in fucking Charlie Kirk?
That's what I've been trying to. I'm indifferent.
Why the fuck do you care what Charlie Kirk's think? You didn't care before. Why the fuck you care about Cass versus Charlie Kirk? I don't give a shit about Charlie Kirk. Okay, never did. Why the fuck do you care?
Yeah.
In fact,
I'm
I'm
trying to
going.
understand.
Why the fuck do y'all care about because he's in the news? Who gives a shit about Charlie Kirk? I don't. I mean, Charlie Kirk. There's a whole bunch of guys of his ilk. Okay, so what?
Hmm.
Why the fuck do you care? And he's not. He. The only reason that he's fan is because he died. Most of the white people didn't really give a shit about Charlie Kirk for the most part.
Hmm.
Why the fuck do you care?
Yeah, he was just a front guy for what they were doing in the background.
He
They were making like 80 million a year. That had nothing to do with him.
had nothing to do with
Yeah,
him. Okay.
it's a lot deeper. Where they were getting. They don't even have to tell people where they get their money from.
Yeah, well, they do, but the thing is, they hide it. Okay, they do.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So
don't hear
yeah,
it, but they do.
yeah,
I mean, Charlie was a front man. Okay, there's a whole bunch
yes,
of people like him. So what? Okay, I understand, but I understand why he's important to some people. Things. Why is he important to you? Why do I have to
he's a
talk about
he's a fancy pawn. You know what I'm saying? I compare him as a pawn to the empire, a pawn that can be replaced eventually.
it? What did Charlie Kirk say that's so different than the last 150 years of white boys saying shit? And he's probably not even the worst. Okay. If you can listen to Nick Fuentes for 30 minutes, I think Charlie he's probably worse than Charlie Kirk.
Mm.
So what? Okay, and Nick Fuentes is immaterial to me. People that are actually I worry about is people that are actually in position to actually change shit. Okay, most right wing people don't like Nick Fuentes. Okay, a lot of right wing people don't like Charlie Kirk. Lots of them.
Yeah, because conservatives they really don't like you saying too much about communities of people because they really don't want that attention unless it
Yeah,
benefits them.
yeah.
So most of their media people do that, but they don't want no attention. They want to get in office, change some stuff, and give it back to the Democrats.
The thing is that and Democrats are complicit because there's a lot of shit that they blame on each other, right? Okay, that they
Hmm.
want shit to get done. Okay, they know what needs to be done, but things they don't want to take the hit for it. That's what's happening
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, we've been in full agreement of that
Yeah.
for years.
Okay. The most of the right wing did not like Nick Fuentes because he's too extreme. Okay. Most of them don't. Okay. Nick Fuentes, most death threats come from the right, not from the left. For Nick Fuentes, believe it or not. Okay. Anyhow, let me get out of here. I will take you guys. Rush Limbaugh was a clown compared to Rush Limbaugh is probably the originator of it, but Rush Limbaugh was mostly playing a character for the most part. I think Charlie Kirk probably was too.
Oh yeah,
Any,
he was playing a character. He's been in it since he graduated.
yeah,
Like
I think
like
I,
this is all put together.
I think he's playing a character. Most of what Rush Limbaugh was doing was playing a character. And
Yeah.
could be if you actually saw Rush Limbaugh before he actually became famous, different kind of guy. Okay, different kind of guy. Anyway, let me get out of here,
Yeah.
and I will see you guys. I don't know how Charlie Kirk comes up, man.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing about him. I'm tired of hearing about how he got shot or who shot him. I really don't care. Okay, for the most part. Okay, who shot him? It's going to be political. Where no matter whether it's amateur that shot him or pro, it's going to get
Yeah.
political. Okay,
There's a part that I wanted to talk to you about what I see taking place, but we can do it probably
we
on
do it
Patreon.
later. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a
It's
bit.
nothing big.
Yeah, I mean the big stuff is already done. Most of the shit they're trying to do can't be done anyway because history in the world has moved on. Okay, all they're doing
Yeah.
is spitting into the wind right now. Okay, whatever they do right now is not going to make a hill of beans. Not going to make a difference, right? Okay, what they
Hmm.
should be doing is trying to convince China to actually buy some of these farm products. Okay, that's what they should be doing instead of this back and forth about bullshit. Go ahead.
Basically, what I'm seeing is, the small state thing. You have
Mhm.
a group of leftists that support it, a group that doesn't, a group of moderates and liberals that support it, and a group that doesn't. And then you have the right wing that's kind of participating in the same thing. So you're separating
They they
groups. Yeah,
most
you know what I'm saying?
most of the goddamn constituents that support the right wing depend on a big state. What the fuck you talking about?
Well,
What
no, I'm talking about the little state in the Middle East.
they
Yeah,
the
yeah,
middle
yeah,
okay that
yeah.
that
So,
that is international politics. Okay,
hmm
that is something on a bigger scale, and basically this is Europeans trying to keep control of the planet. Okay, and
yeah,
Israel's just in the middle of that. That's all they are. They're a little dog on a chain. Okay, they're allowed to
yep,
do what they do. Okay.
yeah. I'm
Uh,
just looking at what it's doing to the voters. That's all I'm
uh,
saying. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
they, the voters don't give a shit about that, man. They didn't vote on that
I
shit.
know,
They didn't give.
I know.
They didn't vote on this shit. Voters voted on you. The biggest killer for Democrats, especially during the election, is putting illegal immigrants on welfare. That's the biggest
Hmm.
killer. That was the biggest killer. Okay, how are you giving our money away where we actually have a bad economy? Stop that shit. Okay.
Yep, North
Yeah.
Carolina, you have to give us back $800.
Yeah. How
Hey,
is
have a good day, man. I don't want to hold you up.
all right? I'm gonna answer this last question. Why are black men dating women like this? Is because they're imprinted by their mothers. Okay, a
Hmm.
lot of your mothers are like this chick. She's like her mother. She's just more educated,
Yep.
and she's doing the same thing her mother did, just in an educated form. Ain't no different. Okay.
Hmm.
Anyhow, all right, you guys. Let me get out of here.
What can I say? What can I say? Mamba out.
Muzyka Denis Siedem.